Some call it a sport, others consider it deadly. We're talking about greyhound racing, and the topic made national news once again after Floridians approved an amendment to ban it.
Most of them have historically come from Florida. That's the biggest racing state.
So what's going to happen to all of those dogs once racing is gone there? News 5's Taylor DeHayes spoke to one Northeast Ohio woman, giving them a loving home.
Protecting pups for a purpose. Linda Perko founded Greyhound Adoption and Rescue of Ohio more than 20 years ago.
We wanted to tell people how wonderful greyhounds were because back in 1993, you didn't see them anywhere.
It all started when she reached out to News 5. One appearance on the morning show.
I had our dog Spinner on there and talked about him. And over the next 2 weeks, we got over 300 phone calls.
The rest is history. Greyhound Adoption of Ohio was born. Since inception, she's rescued more than 2,000 dogs. With the passing of Amendment 13 in Florida, Perko says kennels are in high capacity.
It's a lot of dogs.
She helps place about 200 dogs every year. Quite a few are former racing dogs.
For those dogs that will no longer be bred, they need a place to go.
Florida lawmakers say safety concerns pushed people to the polls earlier this month.
Well, most of them have historically come from Florida. That's the biggest racing state.
Animal activists say greyhounds oftentimes experience pretty bad injuries while racing. Broken legs, cardiac arrest, and even broken necks. Perko says while they're painted in poor light, breeders and racers are going to be hit hard.
There are people we work with who've had racing in their families for generations, and virtually their businesses will be worthless. Some of the kennels are cleaner than my house.
But it's going to take a bit to feel the impact. Greyhounds will still race across finish lines for 2 more years. The downside?
By virtue of the fact that it takes a dog about 2 years from the time they're born to the time they race, many of the moms that have been used for breeding will no longer be bred. So by attrition, there will be many fewer greyhounds 2 years from now than there are now.
Greyhound racing tracks still exist in 5 states: Alabama, Arkansas, Iowa, Texas, and West Virginia. Here in Northeast Ohio, Perko says they'll always have a kennel to call home.
If you want to adopt, Perko gets 10 more greyhounds on Monday from Oklahoma. Now the adoption information is on our website. In the studio, Taylor DeHayes, News 5.